Welcome to the Pre Nup, the wedding obsessed podcast designed to help you plan your dream day. I'm your host, Adriana, and each week I'm joined by the industry's top professionals, celebs, influencers, and friends who are sharing their best tips, advice, and mistakes they've made so you don't have to. The Pre Nup is a Love Stories TV podcast. You know today's guest from TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram for sharing her everyday style, life in Brooklyn, and most recently, her outstandingly beautiful summer 2024 wedding in Vermont, plus all the fashion and activities that surrounded it. Lucky for us, she's an open book on creating effortless, authentic style and implementing it into your wedding. I'm very excited to welcome Kelsey Kotzur to the Pre Nup.
Hi.
Thank you for being here, Miss Kelsey.
Thank you for having me.
You're so fun to watch. I love everything that you do. You are, for all intents and purposes, a newlywed.
Yes.
So
yeah, I'm in my first year.
You're in your first year, yeah. So we just had, by the time this airs, the holidays will have just passed, but we just had Thanksgiving weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So this was technically your first married soiree into the holidays.
It was, yes.
And how was it?
Just like every other holiday. I'm not really sure why people put so much emphasis on the first holiday being married.
Yes.
I saw some comments like, oh my God, Thanksgiving, like your first holiday married. And I'm like, it's the same as every other holiday.
It's so true. And it's really funny because after I got married November 26th, 3 years ago.
Oh, okay.
And everything that we did that year, like, and every day I was like, this is a married couple.
Yeah.
And my husband was like, but it doesn't really matter because we've
Nothing
been doing
changed.
This for a long
Right.
time.
Like you're dating up to and you have those holidays before.
Yes.
I think it might be more for like the people who don't spend holidays together
Yeah.
when they're dating, which we never did. We always were together.
So remind me of your husband's name.
Jared.
Okay, so you guys have been together how long?
10 years.
Oh my gosh, a long
10
time.
years this year.
Wow. How'd you meet?
Yikes. We were neighbors in college.
Cute.
I know. We tell this story all the time, and I've said this so many times, but I went into junior year 2014. Junior year, I had just gotten out of like a really gross, like toxic relationship.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to be such a hoe. I am going to have so much fun at college. I am going to kiss everyone. I'm going to hook up with everyone. I'm just like literally going to be off the wall.
Sure.
I met Jared the first night of college. The first night.
Isn't that how it goes?
Completely foiled my plans.
Yeah.
And then recently we were talking, he was like, I sort of had that situation too. Like I thought I was going to like go and like, you know, be whoever, and we met the first night.
But when you know, you can't let it go. And like, I'm sorry to this hoe phase, but
I know, what could have been.
I know, what could have been. I had it like a very similar thing. My whole 21st year was like chaos, and then I met my husband and I was like, shit.
Yeah,
like,
I was 20.
Yeah.
And he had just turned 21.
Yeah.
So we were like so on the same page, and then we were like, shit.
But you get to grow up together
Yeah.
and evolve through things. It's like that Ben Platt song, you can grow as you go. And it's
Stop.
like,
I'm
so,
gonna cry.
it's so darling and wonderful. So I had a bone to pick with you, but I don't anymore because I saw
news to
me. It won't be news to you. No, it's nothing crazy. So I saw initially that you guys did not take a honeymoon right away.
Not yet.
Not yet. But I love that you've planned it. So I was worried that you didn't. And my bone to pick was a lot of times it goes by the wayside. Like if you don't plan it right away. So I'm so happy that you have planned your honeymoon. Are you
Finally.
sharing any?
Yeah, we're going to Aruba, and we're going to do.
Oh, no, that's a lie. I did not go there. I went to St. Lucia.
We've been before.
Yeah.
We love Aruba.
It's
It's like
gorgeous.
seriously so beyond.
It's actually just perfect weather all the time.
All the time, and it's not very American.
Yeah.
And I know that's like silly. Obviously, it's a different country, so it wouldn't be American. But I'm saying like the tourists there
Right.
come from all over, not
yeah.
just America.
Yeah.
And so it's really nice to go. It feels like a little Europe.
Yeah.
And then we're also doing a week in Colombia.
So fun.
Yeah.
Oh my, so back to back, or are you
Right,
doing?
back to back.
When are you going?
January. So probably around the time that this comes out.
It'd be really nice to break up that cold winter.
And we've heard so many things about honeymoons. Like, you want to have the time on the beach and like relaxing and like doing whatever. But after a while, like, I need to be in a city. I need to be
For
like
sure.
discovering new things, trying new foods, going to restaurants. And
Oh, yeah.
you can't really do that on a resort.
right.
On an island
people
that
go
small.
to Bali and St. Barts and St. Barts there's a lot to do, but like these remote islands where it's just you're in a cabana over the water, and I'm like,
I want that.
I want that.
But I also want to like walk
days.
around a little city town, discover new things.
It's a must. Yeah. So you're getting the best of both. Okay, love it, love it, love it. And how do you feel about having it spaced? Because I think there's a lot of good in both, like doing it right away and having a little time in between.
So I've had a few girlfriends that went directly into their honeymoon.
Yeah.
And I do not know how they did that.
Yeah.
I was so hungover the day after my the day after my wedding. I was so ill on the drive home. I would have never been able to get on an airplane.
God forbid.
Let alone the packing.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, technically we had a destination wedding because we had to drive like 4 hours to our venue.
Yes.
And then we would have had to, I don't know, drive back to JFK and then like get on a plane. No way.
That would have been a little
literally
bit.
No way.
Yeah, and then otherwise you're hauling all of your stuff to Vermont and for your honeymoon to. Yeah. You did it the right way.
Logistically, I don't know how people do that.
Yeah.
And because we're having it in January, like 6 months after our wedding, I have something to look forward to.
Totally.
Because the depression that hit me in the month of September was bananas.
No, for sure. It kind of extends the life of the wedding.
Exactly.
And also, if you're having a summer wedding, like, okay, we're in the Northeast. It's
right,
gorgeous
right.
already.
I don't want to leave.
Yeah.
I want to be in the Northeast.
For sure.
And I think that's like been the theme of my wedding journey is like the elongation. Both like accidental and purposeful elongation of the process because I wanted it to be like I wanted to make moments out of everything.
Totally. And you are bridal goals for so many of us.
My
Like we
God.
look to your page and I'll just hang on your every word. So I want to start with actually in terms of wedding. You and Jared did a courthouse wedding first. So tell me, what was the reason behind doing it at the courthouse?
So I need to give a little context behind this. We were engaged in 2021.
Okay.
And we broke off our engagement.
Okay.
For about 6 months.
Okay.
And then we got back together. And then we got re-engaged.
Is it like
been a
so
journey.
rude for me to ask why?
We just like came out of the pandemic and we realized like he wanted to go to LA.
Yeah.
And I so did not.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, my dreams are like kind of popping off here. If this is like what you need to do to be who you are and be like live your dream, like go do that. But
Yeah.
I can't. And so it was very circumstantial and we broke up not because we did not love each other. No one
Right.
cheated. Like it was just
Sure.
two adults being like, this isn't going to work for right now.
Yeah.
And then we quickly realized like, no, actually that's not going to work. Like we need to get back together. So we got re-engaged in the summer of 2022.
This is so romantic.
I know. I mean, honestly, the internet would have said otherwise.
The internet is an insane place.
Oh my God. You would have thought like he killed my mom or something. Like seriously, it was bananas.
Obviously, like, because they know everything,
Yeah.
something nefarious happened.
I know,
And like,
I know. And I never
shut
said
up.
really like, I'm never going to get into like the nitty gritty details. And so, I mean, the stories that were running rampant. But anyway, so we got re-engaged and the first time around, wanted to get married in New York. I was like, oh my God, a New York City wedding, like how chic.
So chic.
I need to do that.
Yes.
But then you look at the prices and you're like,
Ow.
woo. And then even back then, like I was so down bad. Like I was so dirt poor, like
Yeah.
paying my student loans that were so crazy and all these things. So like there was no way that was going to happen.
Yeah.
And so the second time around, I was like, okay, I realize now that we can go to the courthouse for $75 and have our little New York City wedding.
Bang, bang.
And get it done, make a moment out of it, and fulfill both dreams.
Yes.
Of having a big wedding, walking down the aisle, having our friends and family there, but also having this like cute little intimate February wedding was so fun.
Oh my God, it was so cute. You looked so fire in that dress.
Thank
Oh my
you.
gosh. So if anyone doesn't know, go look. But it's this little black mini, long sleeve, and has this gorgeous cutout on the side, a big white flower. And you're just like, everything. Everything.
It was everything.
It was such a power move.
Thank you. Because seriously, wearing black, everyone was like, girl, what? Like beforehand, they were like, you're going to wear black? And I was like, yeah. It screamed bridal to me.
Yeah.
It screamed bridal.
The-
Just that
the
big
white flower, yeah.
And then having my little mini veil because I knew I wasn't going to wear a veil on the big day.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I have to like be kitschy in some way. Like I
Yes.
wanted to like, I kind of wanted to make it as chic as possible, but also a little fun, like Vegas vibe.
Yes.
And I think that mini veil really did that. And it went really well with my bob. So I was like, okay, this is the perfect moment for this.
Your bob. Can we just have a moment for the bob? Like, it is so iconic. It's so beautiful. I wish that I was so bold. Like, I will get there. Eventually, I will get there.
You have the bone structure.
Do you?
You do.
I always wonder because I am a natural curl, and it does nothing else in the summer month, like in the humidity. So that's my only fear is like that I'll be Annie.
I can't help you there because my hair out of the shower is this bone straight hair. So
It's
like
gorgeous.
this is all that you get at all times, 24/7 There's nothing else to this. Just
Fabulous. It's fabulous.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, God bless.
you.
So, okay, the bob, we just have to have a moment for the bob. But you mentioned that you did black for your courthouse wedding, and I kind of want to segue into something that runs theme with what you did and kind of what you do in your everyday life for everyone who follows you, which if you don't, like, what the hell are you doing?
Please do.
You must. But you opted to go for a color or lack of color, whatever black is. And you did that in your wedding as well. Like, that was something that stuck out to me. You did a red nail for your wedding and you had these little pops. So what was behind those decisions? Like, everyone I think kind of says, oh, I have to be traditional. Everything for a wedding has to be white or has to be this.
I roll. Oh my God. I think the best advice, I was in a bridal salon at Bloomingdale's, and this woman, I put a dress on and I was having her take photos for me and videos so I could see and send to my friends. And she said, whatever you do in your daily life, incorporate that in your wedding, because when you look back and your makeup is like 10 times more than what you wear and your hair is all dull, you have extensions, like you're not going to feel like yourself.
Yes.
And that really resonated with me because I put comfort and like being as true to myself as much as possible at my number one priority. Every day getting dressed. Like I hate when I put an outfit on and I'm like, that's not me. And I really wanted to make sure that on my wedding day, I felt as most like me. And I wear a red nail. I'm not wearing one today, of course. But like, I had just picked it off. It was a long drive home.
Of course.
But I wear a red nail every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that was something I knew from the very beginning of this process. I was like, I'm wearing red nails.
Love a red nail.
Like, I'm not a French tip girl. My little nubs. I'm not
you have really tiny hands. I just noticed
I'm not putting an acrylic on this. I've literally worn acrylics one time and it was for prom and I hated them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I wasn't going to do that again.
No.
So the red nails were something I needed so badly. And then I also wore a green shoe because, like, my favorite color is green.
You did a Gucci shoe.
I did a Gucci
and
slingback.
She was stunning.
Not a slingback, sorry. A Gucci mule. It was seriously meant to be. I can go into a whole story about this, but, like, that Gucci shoe was, like, seriously meant for me.
You have to pop them out for all the like wickedness that's going on because they're so alphabet.
I know. I have a holiday party coming up and I'm wearing them.
Oh, it's a must. Oh, it's a must.
It matches this green dress I have perfectly. So like,
oh my
so good.
I can't wait to see. Yeah, because not just your wedding stuff. Like obviously your style is so fun and cool, and it feels very like personal, and it's not so showy. Like you can tell that. Okay, you thought about it and you put it on. It's not this like insane. And I think that there's things to be taken from that for the wedding as well. To your point.
Yeah. You
shouldn't be all over outside of your comfort zone on your wedding day. No. You want to feel like yourself.
Totally. And I think too, like I've been a guest at some weddings or seen photos of other people's weddings where I'm like, ooh, like that's not unnatural. Like that's not, I don't want it to seem like makeup equals unnatural, but I'm saying if you are not like a heavy smoky eye girl, like don't try new things on your wedding. Totally. Do what you're doing, just like a little elevated, which is what I did. I did a really bold pink cheek because I usually do a lot of blush and like I don't ever wear false lashes, but I had like little wispies. Like you don't have to do your own makeup and be whatever, but just a little elevated. But a little bit more.
Yes.
You don't have to go all out just because everyone else is.
Because obviously, like, you're gorgeous, so you don't need to do something that's going to make you look like a different person. No. Who wants to look like a different person on their wedding day? It's like you're walking down the aisle. Who is this?
Right. And I remember something else that the stylist had said to me. She was like, you don't want your husband to watch you walk down the aisle and be like, who is that?
Totally.
So true.
So for my wedding, I had a spray tan. This is like a story I tell a lot, but it was a notoriously bad spray tan. It wasn't Bosch, but it was just very orange.
Okay.
And my husband hates them. And I was like, well, it's winter. I'm like, I'm pale and I'm doing it. And I was like, God damn it, he was right. I hate to admit that so much, but I still felt beautiful. Like,
and that's all that matters.
Yeah, it is what it is. Like, it's funny to me now, and I love my pictures. I'm not like it ruined anything,
right.
But yeah, I probably would have felt a lot more comfortable initially if I was just like, let it be.
Yeah, I did a makeup trial in the winter when I was a little bit more pale, and it was very cool toned, and I remember going back home and I felt pretty. Like, it was a really pretty makeup job that my artist did, but he was just like, that's not really you. And I was like, you know what, it's not. And then the day of the wedding I was like, that wasn't me, so let's just do what I do in my makeup.
Yes,
elevate it.
Obsessed. Okay, so let's get to the wedding. So Courthouse wedding happens, and then what did you do as far as surrounding events? Did you go with a traditional bridal shower and or bachelorette?
I did both of those things.
Okay.
I was a little apprehensive about the bridal shower because I don't have a lot of women in my family.
Okay.
And I know that it's historically, I suppose, or traditionally, the women in your family will throw it for you and yada yada. You get the registry and blah, blah, blah. So I was a little apprehensive at first, but I did do the bridal shower. I kind of threw it myself with my girlfriends, and I invited like every woman I knew, apart from friends, family, whatever, family friends. And it was really lovely. I rented a house on the lake in my hometown, drove all my friends there who had, like, I have a few friends that had never been there before. So that was really exciting, being able to show them my hometown.
Where's home?
Plattsburgh, New York, which is like upstate on a lake.
Cool.
It's very beautiful. And it was really nice. I ordered sandwiches from like my local sub shop. Like, it was perfectly fine. My friends made the cake. I brought flowers from like antique vases that I had them source from each place that we like met each other in. And that was like super, super nice. And then my bachelorette party, we went to Mexico.
So fun.
Yeah, I treated the girls on my bachelorette.
God bless you.
I have seen so much rhetoric online of like people wanting all these bachelorette parties to be like outrageous, and then the girls not being able to afford it. Not to say like my friends wouldn't have been able to afford it, but like I just felt kind of wrong about wanting to go to Mexico on a resort all inclusive and being like, pay for it,
buck up,
like, come on,
it's a big expense.
Yeah, so I just covered it. I was like, you know what, I want to have as much the most amount of fun as possible, and like you guys deserve it too, because like you guys have been on this journey through the breakup, through the breakup, like we've all been on this journey, so let's all just have fun.
Oh, I love it. And you know what, I think people can, because we look to you for inspiration, and you know, our favorite content creators and influencers, and that is something that if you're able to do it, it's like, it's so huge, and we all want to spoil our friends, and maybe we're not in the position to pay for everyone to go to Mexico, but you can host like a dinner party at your house and get a couple great bottles of wine and like make them feel really special.
There are so many ways to do that, and I didn't have like the chance to do like the traditional "will you be my bridesmaid?" I kind of just shipped them a package, and I was like,
love it,
open it up, like there's a surprise in there. So this was sort of like the special moment that I had for all of them to get together, to meet for the first time, to go on this vacation together. And it was so much fun.
Oh my God, it looked gorgeous. I mean, I always come back to your fits because I'm like, oh, the looks. I can't wait to see all the honeymoon looks. So I'm taking it kind of chronological order. So we have bachelorette, we have and then we get to like your wedding weekend. So I know, so fabulous. So it was July of 2024. And why Vermont?
So I'm from upstate New York.
Okay.
Across the lake is Vermont, and Jared is from Boston, and like that's very New England.
Yes.
And I wanted to get married somewhere near my hometown. My family, they're not great travelers. They all get like motion sickness, and like they just having it close by would have been beneficial for a lot of people. And I quickly learned that in my hometown, everything is a barn. Like, oh my God, everything was so rustic. Or I had my prom there, or my friends got married there, or my parents got married. Like I just simply couldn't. Yeah. And so I was looking at the surrounding areas, and it just so happened that I found this like stunning venue that looked like France.
So gorgeous.
And I was like, okay, let's just go visit. Why not? It was the only venue we looked at, and we booked it that day.
Wow.
That day. I was like, I'm a very decisive person. Yeah. So I was like, that's it.
You knew.
And I will not get married if it's not here.
Wow. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
So,
I was fully prepared to get married in like 2025.
Okay.
If I had to, I would have.
That was your place.
Yeah.
Can you shout it out?
Hildine in Manchester, Vermont. I love you.
Oh, it's so
yes,
friggin'
Carmine
pretty.
and the team. They are like seriously angels sent from heavens.
Aww.
Like they are so sweet. If you book your wedding there, they will take the best care of you.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, it was like a dream. I don't even know how to describe this place.
Feels like
in
a
dream. State. Like I don't even know.
So it's little history lesson.
Yes.
It's Abraham Lincoln. It's his son Robert, who is his only child that lived to adulthood. Everyone else had died, I think, in war, and like there was a disease or something. So he's the only child that grew to adulthood, and he would visit Manchester during his like off seasons, like in the summertime, and he fell in love with Manchester and then built that house.
Okay, Robert.
And so now it's a museum. Yeah, they lived there until like
cool.
this, like I don't know when they lived there.
Yeah,
but now it's like perfectly preserved. They have Abraham Lincoln's top hat in there. It was really cool too.
God.
So during the cocktail hour, they all of the guests got to go into it and like have a little history lesson, which was so cool.
Really, really
My
neat.
grandma was dying over the top hat.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like, Abraham Lincoln's top hat.
Must get this
Yeah.
top hat. Oh
Yeah.
I would die over that as well.
It was really cool.
So did you have any assistance in planning, like a planner or any?
I planned the entire thing, and I had a coordinator for 6 weeks out.
Really, really smart.
Yeah.
Really smart. So I actually was having a conversation with someone this morning about, hiring a planner and what you need versus what you don't. And I think it just varies depending on who you are. But the one non-negotiable is a coordinator.
So non-negotiable. I don't know. I was toying between having her and not having her. Like I reached out. There aren't that many coordinators in Manchester, Vermont.
Sure.
So had she not been available, I was like fully prepared to be like, okay, like full speed ahead. I'm going to be doing this. Luckily she was, and thank you God, because I don't know how she pulled it together.
Oh my gosh.
I gave her all of the information and she just streamlined it perfectly.
Yep.
And I don't think I would have had the wherewithal to do that myself that day.
Yeah, in that last month, I bet you were still even pretty stressed because it's a lot going on.
Yeah.
So to add creating your timelines, and the thing is, it's not just the logistic pieces before, but it's the fact that this is your wedding and you can't be rallying the troops, making commands, like setting things up. You need to have someone there to do those things.
And she had done weddings at this venue a million times. And
awesome.
When we got there for the rehearsal, she was a serious drill sergeant.
Love it.
And I was just like in awe of her. I was like, yeah, that's right.
Oh my gosh.
Get these people in line.
So, okay. So you had your help in the 6 weeks, which, I say it a lot, and I'm just going to say it again, like, hire the coordinator.
Yeah,
just
get a
do it.
coordinator.
Get a coordinator. Yeah. In terms of your other vendors, something that really stood out to me about your photos was the fact that you could actually visibly tell from them that you and your party were so happy. You were really enjoying the day.
We had the best day.
I mean, it's one thing to actually have that and but to see it through the photography, it's hard to capture.
Totally.
So how did you go about photography, choosing your photographer and your other vendors?
Like I said, I'm very decisive and thank God, I don't know how this all happened, but the venue or the vendors that I chose the first time around were the vendors that I got. Okay. I was just like, I want you. Yeah. If you're available, thank God you are. Perfect. Yeah. I found Ruby, my photographer, from a friend of a friend, got married in Texas, and she did her wedding. And it was stunning. So beautiful. The photos were amazing. And I was really apprehensive about photography because I didn't want did you see the whole sepia bride drama? I was very concerned about, all of that, the color grading and everything. And I fell in love with her photography. And I later discovered that I had saved so many of her photos on Pinterest and didn't know it. Wow. Because this was years in the making. Yeah. And so I reached out to her and she was available, and we did a little test shoot for our engagement shoot in Central Park, and she killed it. Like, she made Jared feel so comfortable. She made me feel so comfortable. She was so quick.
Yeah.
And we were done in like 45 minutes. And I was like, those
fabulous.
Are some of my favorite photos I've ever taken in my life. How did this happen? And so I was just immediately disarmed and so comfortable with her. And she's just such a joy to be around, and I think she just made everyone feel so comfortable. Yeah. Her and her team.
Oh, God, it's so special. And how is, just a question for you, how is Jared in front of the camera?
He's not bad. Okay. I mean, he's used to it at this point. Like, I've thrown him into so many situations.
Yeah.
But sometimes, like, posing can be an issue.
Sure.
I mean, for anybody.
Oh, of course,
especially he's not, like, taking photos the way that I am. So, like, I know my angle. He might not.
Sure. Do you have any great tips for anyone who is maybe not as comfortable, or their fiance's not as comfortable? Just, like, get yourself right?
Do a test shoot.
Okay.
Do a test shoot and just, like, spend as much time in front of the camera as possible. Even if that means, like, seriously, have your husband or yourself set up a tripod and just be like, okay, I like my head this way, not this way. Or, like, maybe I should... Because sometimes I do this too. I'll have my head so high up, and so I really had to like learn how to like put my head down so my neck didn't look a mile long.
Oh, interesting.
It's all about like the practice.
Yes.
Therefore, when someone's taking a million photos of you, you don't like always have a double chin, or you're not like looking wonky eyed. You're like kind of prepared for that moment. It's like it's like a practice shoot.
Yeah. Okay. So do the practice shoot. Do an engagement shoot. Maybe multiple.
Maybe 2.
Yeah.
Have a friend do it. Like you don't need to have all of this like photographer pay for it. Just have a friend come and take an iPhone. Like it doesn't need to be like a whole production.
Really good advice.
Just practice in front of the camera so that when you show the photos to your husband or yourself or whoever, you can be like, ooh, I don't like it when my arm is like so tight to my body, or I need to like be a little bit more loosey-goosey in the photos.
That's so funny that you said that, because I do remember on my wedding day, like I just do a little thing with my arm, you know, like a little, and the photographer kept pushing it down, and I was like, no, J-Mo, sweetie, I'm doing this on purpose.
I know. Every time my Ruby would be like, chin down, I'd be like, oh yeah. Oh right.
Sorry.
I'm not a giraffe. Yes, thank you.
So continuing down the vendor hole.
Yes.
You opted to do both videography and content creation for your wedding day. Mm-hmm. Tell us about that, the decision why to do both.
So at this same friend of friend's wedding, Ruby shot with this videographer team, the Hansons, and they were just like a tag team. 2 separate companies, obviously, but they have shot so many weddings together. And when I was looking for a videographer, I had seen Ruby post with the Hansons, and I clicked on their page, and I watched one video that they have on their Vimeo, and I sobbed. I was like, that's what I want. I was like, and they're from Nashville. They live in Nashville, so I flew them out, and the teaser that they sent us like blew my mind. Wow. Blew every expectation I had out of the water. And so I am so grateful for them, because they really captured the day through like a guest's eyes, you know, and they captured us so beautifully, and they captured moments that I would have never asked for, like my grandma meeting Jared's grandma, or you know, just little moments on the dance floor I would never be able to be at. Yeah. They interviewed people. It was just like a really sweet moment. I cannot wait to see the full length feature film.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah.
I'm going to die. That's like really the last piece that I'm waiting for from the wedding. Mm-hmm. But then in terms of a content creator, I asked my friend Caroline, who is such a gem, such a star. She is so comfortable in front of the camera. She's also a TikToker, Instagrammer. She understands the landscape that I'm in. Yeah. And I knew I needed someone who got it, who just could get it. Didn't need me to tell them when to cut the sound. Like, she just understood. And if I could say to any content creator out there, or anyone who really wants to make videos and like have fun with your girlfriends, hire someone to do your content creation, because seriously, Caroline afforded me the best day of my life. Aww. Because I didn't have my phone on me. I am a content creator by trade. Yeah. And so that's like my go-to. I'm always like, where can I film? Where's the light? Like, I'm always in control of this. And because she was in control, I got to completely turn off. Yes. And it was so lovely. It was so lovely and so beautiful, because I was so present. And I don't think I've been that present in a moment in a long time. because she took care of everything. I didn't have texts. I didn't have my camera. I wasn't taking photos, which is like always where my brain is going.
Sure.
And she took care of everything.
So for you specifically, it's kind of important that this gets documented in that way, you know, for any other content creators out there. But it's so funny that you say that, because do you know Laura Ladouceur?
I'm so bad with names.
That's okay.
No,
she's great. She has Plan with Laura, and she does content creation. She's so awesome. But I sat down with her, and she said that such a big percentage of her clientele for content creation aren't even in the content creator or influencer world. It's just such a nice medium, and it's such a nice way to consume it, because that's even my wedding video. Like I watch it on my phone. Like it's not, I mean, sometimes it's up on the big screen, but it's we're so used to seeing things in this way. And there's also just a little bit more of like a relaxed, like playful kind of feel.
Completely. And not to mention, yes, we had like a full doc about what trends we wanted to do and like what we needed to get in terms of like sponsorships or like little trends here and there. But the photos and images and videos and everything that she captured it was amazing. The next day, waking up, having my phone full of photos, full of videos that I would have never seen had she not been there.
Totally.
She recorded all of my like best man speech and the maid of honor speech, my dad's speech, his mom's speech, and like you're never gonna see all of that in the video because there's just not enough time.
Unless you're gonna watch hours worth of footage, which you're not.
And I wouldn't want to. I want it to be concise and beautiful and whatever. But also like she just killed it. She got videos of things that I would have never even asked for. Like, again, like I have this one video and it's so deep. I have thousands, but it's my grandma and his grandma meeting for the first time, and she like grabbed the videographers and like showed them like what was what and like who needed to be videoed and photographed and everything like that. She just killed it. She killed it. And so now she's booking weddings as a content creator for weddings. And seriously, like if you hire Captured by Caro, you are in good hands.
Oh my God.
She's a superstar.
We gotta get her.
You gotta.
Oh, everyone follow Captured by Caro. Yes. I'm going to. As soon as
every video, every piece of content that I have from my wedding, if you enjoyed, is because of her.
That is amazing. Yeah. And it's so huge of you to say that too, and like give people their flowers, because a lot of people, you know, you didn't have a wedding planner, and you're not a wedding planner by trade. No. And you have to be credited because your vision was so beautiful for this whole thing, and you did put all of these things together. But I do love that you just fully like give it up to people. I think that's really a great trait.
Seriously, like every piece of content is from her.
Yeah.
Everything before other than like the photographs from the photographer and the video is from her.
Yeah.
And like she is like seriously the venue and Caroline are the two things that I'm like, thank God.
Hire the content creator.
Hire the content creator. Seriously. And even if you're not a content creator, just having like the photos the next morning was like,
I know,
a
because
blast.
Like, you know, your aunt stands up and is like trying to take the first dance picture. Like, it just doesn't come out good with a lay person like myself. Like, I'm not knocking anyone. My pictures come out like crap. My videos come out like crap.
I know, and all of her videos too, I can hear like little chatter of people being like, "Oh my God, they look so beautiful." And it's like, how would I have ever been able to capture that had she not been there?
Right. Oh,
such a delight.
It's really, really special. Okay, so that's like, I would say it's definitely becoming more popular, but it's definitely not something that's at the forefront. And you, throughout your wedding, did choose to go a little unconventional in certain things. There were a lot of elements that I was just like, yes. One of them, I loved what you did with your dad walking down the aisle. Can you tell everyone?
Yeah, so I had a very long aisle. So you walked down, you hung a left, and then that was where the aisle and Jared was standing. And because I had this long aisle with a turn, I was talking to one of my girlfriends, and she made such a good point. She was like, you should have your dad walk down, stop, and turn around, because dads don't get to watch their daughters walk down the aisle.
Yeah.
They're right there arm in arm. And I thought that was such a beautiful thing, because I love my dad so much. He's such a sweet guy. And like, I would do anything for him. And having him have that moment just felt really really special that he was a part of it.
Yeah.
He wasn't just walking me down the aisle like any other dad does.
Yeah.
He was able to experience my wedding in the way that I think it should have been experienced.
Yeah.
And it was really lovely. I got to have like a little moment with him and have my own moment. I mean, hello. I wanted my own moment too.
Yeah. I mean, let's be real. We love our dads, the good dads out there.
Love
they are
you,
like,
Dad. But
love
like,
you so much.
I spend so much on my dress. Like, if I don't get these solo shots at the top with this venue,
well, let's be real.
What are we doing here?
No one's looking at Dad down the aisle.
Right.
You know, if anything, like Dad's maybe a little in the way of people's view of the bride.
A little.
So, what else traditional did you opt to forego? Anything?
Oh, let me think. We didn't do our vows at the wedding. We did it the morning of over coffee separately, and thank God we did.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. I was a mess.
Were you sobbing?
Sobbing.
Oh, yeah.
Not to mention, I'm not like a very good public speaker. So, like.
I disagree.
It was just Jared and I in our suite, and I was like, I could not have done it. I couldn't have done it.
Yeah. So, you guys spent the night and morning together, too.
Yep. We spent the night and we spent the whole weekend together.
I like that.
Yeah, because like we've been together for 10 years and like
there's no surprise.
There's no surprises, and I didn't want to have a bad night's sleep ultimately. I got we didn't get any sleep. We were so nervous. We got up at like 5 a.m. We were both like
it's like Christmas. Yeah,
so excited. And so had I not been sleeping with him, I would have been like eyes awake all night. And our hotel was haunted, so like I needed him there.
No, I kind of love that.
I needed him there.
I love a haunted space. I feel like the ghosts are like they're not gonna hurt anybody.
No, they definitely made their presence known.
Did they? Well, in what ways?
Oh my God. Okay, so I have this one video of me getting home that night, and I'm like pulling my corset out, and I'm so drunk, right? I'm out of my mind, and I have it propped up, and I'm like filming myself taking the corset out because it's 1,000,000 miles long.
Sure.
And I saw this one TikTok that was like, video yourself when you get home. Like, you'll be so happy you did.
Yeah.
So I'm doing that. And then I flip it around and I put my phone down and it starts recording for like 3 seconds and then it shuts off. But there's no reason the phone should have shut off or the video because the phone didn't die. It just stopped recording. And at the end of it, you can hear like movement and then it just cuts.
Oh, that's weird.
But there's no reason it should have because it was still recording as I put it down. It wasn't as if I clicked a button when I set it down. Like I set it down and you can still see me taking it off and you hear sounds and then it cuts.
Oh my God. The ghosts are fucking with the content now.
No, literally. I was like, Jared had came up the stairs like a minute later. So I was like, oh, if I could have just gotten that moment, ghost.
God damn it. Oh my God. That is pretty wild.
Scary.
I do love that kind of stuff though. Like I don't know. It's a topic.
Now that I'm not there, I love it. I'm like, God, oh, what a story.
Totally.
But in the moment, the next morning, I was like,
yeah, a little scary. Okay, where did I leave us off? So I'm going all over the place here. Oh, okay. So something that I did want to talk about, obviously, is the style of it all. So I'll start with your bridesmaids because you really went viral for this. Like, your bridesmaids' dresses were
they were stunning.
So what was the direction?
So I was lucky enough to work with Anthropology for the wedding, and I opted to work with them for the bridesmaids' dresses because this whole process, I knew it was going to be a moment, and I knew I wasn't going to save any costs. I was like, you know what? This is my one time I'm doing this. Like, I'm going to go balls to the wall.
Yeah.
But I wanted to, think logically, and I didn't want them to have to pull their weight as much as I would pull my own, right? So I worked with them for the bridesmaids' dresses, and they were so kind to gift them all of their dresses.
Amazing.
And so that was really easy to narrow it down from at least the website. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
At least we're not looking at a million websites.
Right.
And I knew they were all going to be different, and I knew I wanted them all to fit them in the way that they wanted to feel beautiful or the most beautiful.
Yeah.
I have a girlfriend who has a very large chest, and I have another girlfriend who's like very thin and very like tall and slender, and another like all sorts of different body shapes. So I asked the girls what color they were most comfortable in and what color they think they look the best in, and we went from there. That was like the starting point.
Amazing.
I was like, okay, perfect. My best friend, my maid of honor, she loves blue. Great. We're going to put you in a blue dress. I literally don't care.
Gorgeous.
And so I started by making a Canva document and putting every photo of the girls and then 3 to 4 dresses of each. So I gave them options and they each told me which one they liked the most. I was like, perfect. And then from there, we kind of just did like a little puzzle, rearranging here and there from what's available, what didn't fit them, yada, yada.
Yeah.
And then I have 2 sets of sisters, 2 sets of sisters in my bridal party, my cousins, and then Jared's 3 sisters, and 2 of them are twins.
Oh my God.
So I was like, okay, the twins both wanted to wear pink. I'm like, perfect. They have to be different shades of pink, and they have to be different silhouettes. That was done. And then their older sister wanted to wear a different dress entirely. So I made sure that dress had little hints of pink to kind of tie them together.
Yeah.
So if they were going to take a photo together, at least they looked the same.
Right.
And then my cousins, they're sisters, and I saw this one gorgeous dress at the Hutch showroom. Beautiful, like T-length A-line dress. And I was like, okay, that would look so good on Jackie. Texted her. I was like, do you like this? She was like, love it. I was like, perfect. That's yours. And so then that was purple. And then her sister, Becky, my cousin, I was like, she has to wear some sort of purple too.
Yeah.
Put her in a purple dress. Beautiful. And then from there, it was just like my friend Katrina with the large chest. I was like, she needs something that's corseted that's going to like really give her support.
Yeah.
We found this one V. Chapman dress. Done.
Amazing.
Yeah. And then my friend Paige was like, I want to look like Andy Anderson from How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. I'm like, perfect. That's it.
Boom.
Yeah.
So what I was going to ask you is, you know, how do you curate? Because that's the goal of so many brides. Like, I want my bridesmaids in different things, but I want them to feel like they're on the same planet.
Yeah.
And I don't want them all in the same color or like sort of style of dress. But you just explained it perfectly. And it takes a lot of effort.
And that was like round 11 of like the figuring out who's gonna wear what color, yada yada. Like the Jared's sisters, they probably went through like 4 different variations of dresses.
Okay.
And then Taylor, my maid of honor, she probably went through like 3.
Yeah.
You know, it was just like kind of the rearranging. The only person that never changed was my other maid of honor, the yellow dress, and then my cousin Jackie.
Okay.
Who I like was like, these are 100% happening.
Really, really smart. And I like the fact that, you know, everything was anthro, so it's curated in a certain way anyway.
Exactly.
And then from there, of course, you have to still do your digging and diving.
The only thing I wanted was to make sure that like they all fit like a garden party aesthetic.
Yes.
Like at any point, any of them wanted to rewear that dress to another whatever, it would fit the theme perfectly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That is, it's so kind of you because I just saw a wedding that it was featured in Vogue and I don't like to yuck yum, so I'm not going to say who it is.
Okay.
Every aspect of this wedding otherwise was like literally to die for. It was absolutely amazing. Bride looked amazing. And I'm sure her bridesmaids were happy with the dresses and I hope they were, but I didn't like them. I that's the only.
Were they all the same?
They were all of the same, like in the same category, written in the same font, in the same color scheme, like a muted pastel. They were not flattering. They were like very, very frocky, very, and I think it was less about like is it going to be flattering? More about the fashion. So I will say, you know, I'm uncultured swine, and I know there's a vision behind it. And
you'll have to show me what they look like after.
I will show you because you'll probably be like, oh no, that actually really works with the theme and everything. And listen, I get it, but I think it's so powerful to put your girls in something that like they like, look good in, love to wear. Just like be kind to the people you love. Don't put them in ugly bridesmaid dresses.
No, seriously, be kind to the people that you love. Because had I put in like, even if I wore like half of those dresses, I wouldn't have been comfortable in them.
Yes.
So it's like, why would I put them in dresses that they didn't feel beautiful in? I cannot imagine like one of my bridesmaids coming up to me after and being like, I actually like hate the way my body looks, or I hate the way I look. Like that ruins everything.
Heartbreaking.
I would have died for them.
No, you can't have it.
No.
And then obviously, finally, I want to get to your style of it all. So I love hearing about people's wedding dress selection process.
Yeah.
And especially yours. So I want you to take me down that road of like how we got to your dress.
So to be fair, I tried on probably, like 50 dresses.
Okay.
But I bought my dress like number 5. It was like the 5th dress I tried on.
Really?
And I went through this whole other process being like, okay, like I still have like a month. I could probably, they're not going into production right away. Like I can sort of figure it out had I not loved that or loved something else. But I, again, very decisive, very independent. I'm a Capricorn. I went dress shopping alone, fully alone. I didn't have a single friend come with me. I didn't want anyone's input.
Yeah.
I, of course, sent photos and everything. I was like, yeah, this isn't it, blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
But the minute I put on my dress, I was like, yeah, that's it.
You knew.
And what's really funny is that I had gone to a bridal fashion week show like 2 days before that for Jenny Yu. Mm-hmm. And I met this girl, Hope, who I'm sure you know, Hope Levine. She's like a bridal stylist. She's
fabulous.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I had met her. We had been mutuals for a little bit. And she was so lovely. And she was like, oh, my God, I have to get you to try on sync. I'm best friends with the designers, and they're in town for a trunk show. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't know that. And she's like, yeah, they're not really like telling people. It's just like kind of like a, if you know, you know. She's like, I'll get you an appointment. She gets me an appointment. I had met this girl like 20 minutes prior.
What an angel.
What an angel.
The right people.
What an angel. And so I go to the showroom 2 days later, but the day before I went to the Jenny Yu showroom. And like, I liked Jenny Yu.
Yeah.
Wasn't for me. It was a little bit modest, a little bit too conservative for me. Yeah. And so I went to sync with like sort of low expectation. I was like, God, like if that's my first foray into wedding dress shopping, I'm kind of like bummed out.
Right.
And so I tried it on. I tried on one dress and I was like, that's not for me. And then I tried on another dress that I saw one of my Instagram mutuals had worn to her wedding. I was like, it's a beautiful dress, but like I've literally seen photos of this girl in this wedding dress before. I'm not going to wear the same wedding dress.
Right.
Then I tried on my dress, and let me set the scene. It was a cold, disgusting October day. Okay? Cold and disgusting. One of those days where it's like kind of spitting rain. It's dark and cloudy. The minute I tried on my dress, the sun popped out and was, I'm not exaggerating, beaming on me.
That is fake, girlfriend.
Beaming on me.
Yeah.
And I'm tuned into the universe, so I was like, hello, I'm listening. I'm listening. I tried on the next dress, completely gray again. Like within like a minute and a half quick change.
Very strange.
So then I went home that day and I was like, okay, this is so insane. So the dress name is called the Gale. Okay. And I was sitting in the cab home and I was like, okay, universe, I saw the sun. Send me, if this is my dress, send me another sign. Like, and I will buy this dress. You know, in the back of the cabs, how they have TV and stuff. This was when I think the Hunger Games was coming back out. Okay. And this was like a flashback to the previous Hunger Games, like Hunger Games 1. Right. And Katniss Everdeen goes, Gale.
I'm done.
And I was like, it was like 10 minutes after I'd left. I was like, that's it. I'm buying the dress.
Oh my God, that's amazing. See, people, the signs are there if you look for them.
The signs are there. Because how long ago did Hunger Games come out? Why was it relevant? You know what I mean?
Why? Yes. That was meant to be.
It was meant to be.
And may I say, I mean, what an exquisite gown. You truly were unbelievably gorgeous.
Thank you so much.
The entire look, every bit of style. Look, there's so many things I could talk to you about your wedding literally all day and just talk to you because you're a doll baby. But unfortunately, you know, there's timing with this damn show. We can't go as long as I want. So I want to get into two things before we end. Every week we do a segment called Premarital Counseling, and it's our advice segment. Our listeners will write in questions. We always keep things anonymous, so if you ever want to get a little bit of advice or just like general wedding questions, you can email Adriana at the-pre-nup.com or podcasts at lovestoriestv.com. Again, we will keep it anon. But I am going to have your help if you would be so kind.
I would love to help.
Okay. All right. So this is our write-in. I'm getting married at a popular wedding hall in New Jersey. Hey, Jersey. That's me.
Shout out, Jersey.
Shout out, Jersey. In New Jersey in spring of 2026. The space is beautiful, but because I know a lot of people who've been married there, I'm afraid it won't feel unique or special. What kinds of details could I add to make it feel different without spending a ton of money?
That's a great question. I think the first thing that comes to mind for me is layout of the venue. Switch it up.
Yes.
If the venue and you've seen a million weddings that have round tables, stick a rectangle in there.
Yeah, get some estates in there. Yeah, usually, especially at a hall like that, they'll have a certain amount that you can mix in. Like just, as you said, something to break up the pattern.
Yeah.
Or like that'll draw your eye. So
Or color.
You
know what I mean? Or lighting even, you know?
Yep.
Lighting, I feel like when you're at a hall like that is, you know, kind of the same all the time.
Yeah.
Throw some color in there. Have a pink tablecloth. Do a whatever.
Yes, because I think I know what she's talking about because I live in Jersey and I know that we have a lot of these like really gorgeous banquet halls. But I get it because sometimes you walk in and like it's the big chandelier and it's, you know, a lot of people will do like ivory on ivory with linens and napkins because it feels like it kind of goes with everything. So I like what you said about like maybe throw in something bold like a pink.
Throw in color, have like, I don't know, reuse your flowers, obviously, no matter what. Reuse your flowers from the ceremony to the reception, and just kind of like, I don't know, throw in a colorful vase or something. You can find so many things for your wedding, plates and silverware, whatever, on Etsy or Amazon, even secondhand.
It doesn't have to be through, because it really can be astronomical if you have a big wedding to do rentals through a traditional party company. But yeah, if you're getting something, you know, vintage or Etsy or whatever. Also, depending on what you choose, it can be expensive, but it's not an insane cost to do a dance floor wrap. So that's something
what I did.
Did you do it?
Yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
I was like, I need that black and white. I need it.
Yeah, it's so sharp.
Yeah.
It really just kind of elevates things.
And it like shows people where to go.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I feel like when you don't have that, people are just kind of like wandering around like, where's the dance floor?
Yes. So I hope we helped this bride. We love you. Always send us updates. Good luck. Okay, and then finally we have our after party segment. So these are just like fun little wedding questions.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. First question is, what is your honeymoon hotspot?
I mean, we're going to Aruba.
It's very timely.
We love Aruba. One happy island.
One happy island. It is. It's beautiful. Okay, what song is going to get you on the dance floor at a wedding?
So many. What's that one song? Oh shit, what was that song from Saltburn? Murder on the Dance Floor.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Murder on the Dance Floor. That's gonna get me.
It's a good one. Yeah. It's a really, really great song. Okay. What hors d'oeuvre will you never pass up?
Oh my god, anything fried. We had little chicken sandwich sliders.
Oh, sexy.
Yeah.
Oh,
give it to me.
Give me all the hors d'oeuvres.
Or like a caprese little like toothpick.
Gorgeous. a pig in a blanket. I will never pass up.
Yeah. Honestly, there's no hors d'oeuvre I'll pass up.
Honestly, yeah.
You're hungry. You're drinking already. So give it to me.
Yeah. Give it all to me.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your signature cocktail or mocktail?
Oh, we had signature cocktails named after our cats.
Oh my god,
we are millennials.
So cute though. You're stationary. I wanted to tell you, like, I loved all of your stationery and your signage and everything.
Heron, Like the Bird, at Like the Bird on Instagram. She's incredible. She made all of our stationery.
Beautiful.
We had the Gigi and Tonic, because our cat's name is Gigi, and then we have another cat called Pablo, who is seriously such a mischievous little cat. So we had the El Diablo Pablo margarita, spicy margarita.
Very cute. Yeah. That was really, really fun. Are you more of a margarita girl, or are you more of like a gin and tonic?
I'm more of a margarita girl.
Okay, yeah, me too.
And Jared loves a G&T, so that was our middle ground.
That's such a manly thing. I like that. That's like, I'm in my study having my gin and tonic,
having a G&T.
Yeah.
Sexy.
Very sexy. If you could invite any living guest to your wedding, who would it be?
Living? Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I feel like she'd be a good time.
She would be a good time. And I think after the initial shock of it being Taylor Swift, I think she could just party with people. She's just a girl. After all.
Yeah.
Come on. She's one of us.
Yeah.
One practical piece of advice that you could give to any couple planning their wedding.
I would keep your plans to yourself.
Ooh. Say more.
I think that when we have too many inputs, that's when the stress comes. You know what you like. Your husband knows what you're like, or your wife, your partner. you need to stay true to like what you love and what you're into, because when you start deviating, you're like, oh yeah, my mom wants this, my grandma wants this, my dad wants this.
Right.
Then you lose the essence of why you're getting married.
Yeah.
And this event is one of the only events in your life that is strictly about you and your partner. So say less to people. Just keep it internal.
I like that.
You know what I mean?
I like that a lot. It's really, really strong advice.
Yeah. You don't need to tell everyone your plans.
No.
Keep it to yourself. Have them surprised.
And they'll probably be surprised at how much they liked something that they were probably quick to poo-poo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, oh, like I think about it and I got this one piece of advice and this girl was like, oh, like no one really smokes. Like why would you need matchbooks? And this was not one of my friends or family. It was just like some conversation I was having. And I was like, no, I want the matchbooks. I light candles all the time. And I'm so glad I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like imagine I listened to her, like how stupid advice that would have been.
Exactly. Everyone likes different things, different strokes for different folks.
Yeah. And
Don't tell people your business.
If you like it, keep it to yourself and just let it happen.
Kelsey, you are a gem. This was so much fun. Tell everyone where they can find and follow you.
My Instagram is my name, at Kelsey Kotzur. My TikTok is the same, except there's an underscore in the middle, so at Kelsey_Kotzur. And I'm on YouTube, just my name.
Fabulous. Thank you so much for doing this. This was
so
awesome.
fun.
Yay! Thanks for tuning into the Pre Nup. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform or on the Love Stories TV YouTube channel. Follow at _pre_nup and at Love Stories TV on Instagram for more. Have feedback or suggestions for the next episode? Feel free to reach out to us at podcast@lovestoriestv.com.